So what are we looking for? What are the keys to this game for us as OU goes against Temple? We'll pick the game against the spread. We'll also tell you which week 1 games we're most looking forward to watching. Coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And thank you once again for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Again, shout out to all the everydayers tuning in with us. Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. Jay, week 1, man, it is always so wonderful to get to this moment. And I'm just thrilled again to be able to cover this team with you guys here that follow along on the show and with Jay. It's our first football season together. Excited about it and what Oklahoma is going to bring to the table, but we're going to be bringing it for you here every day. So, Jay, give me what your keys to this game are going to be for the Oklahoma Sooners.
The key things is offensively establishing the run early. Get out there, run the ball, just run it down the throat, period. The offensive line needs to be able to move GT counters, whatever you got to do, get those inside zones going. Run the ball, establish the run. That's how you establish your dominance, right? Mm-hmm. The running game and defense always travels. We're not traveling, but if we can make sure we're establishing that, that's going to set a great blueprint for the rest of the season. Next thing is Jackson Arnold needs to make sure he minimizes any mistakes, right? Like there was concerns coming out of camp about decision-making, but he was also going against potentially a top 5, 10, 20 defense in the country. So he's going up against some of the best, and they know him. They know his playbook. They know what he's going to do. So the best way to prevent them from, prevent him from making a lot of these mistakes is that he's not going to go against that same thing. But what he's going to need to do is focus and just not sling it, but get some yards and get some plays going. But I think establishing the run is probably the keyest thing, the most key thing. Defensively, though, that one to me is going to require a lot of dominance. A lot of dominance. What are you thinking about on that offensive and defensive side that's key for this game?
Yeah, I think for both sides of the ball, it's just doing what you need to do. Just executing where you need to execute. Don't do more than what you're asked. Stay true to your keys. Whether you're a defensive lineman and you're responsible for a gap or you're 2-gapping and you're responsible to hold up an offensive lineman, just do that. You don't have to make every single play, and don't play like you have to make every single play. Trust the system, trust the schemes, and just go do your job. That's what I want to see, because it's that kind of discipline to do your job that's going to help this team move forward. For Jackson Arnold, I don't want him to press, man. I don't want him to force anything, trying to prove a point against Temple. I don't need him to prove anything against Temple. I just need the offense to just be efficient. When the play's there that's to be made, make the play. If you're getting some pressure, get rid of the ball. You don't have to make every single play. It's going to be okay. You're going to, even if that first series is a 3-and-out, fine. I'd rather have that than a Spencer Rattler turnover interception down the sideline on the first play of the game.
100% agree. 100% agree there.
Ball. Just go play ball and have fun, really. That's really what it comes down to for me. Just go play ball, have fun. Everybody's been itching for this. We have, the fans have. I know the players have. The players have been itching for this. Just relax, go play ball, have fun, and let the results speak for themselves.
Yeah, look at this game similar to they did with Arkansas State, right? We went out there, we exerted our dominance, we showed that we had the capabilities. That's what Jackson Arnold needs to do. He needs to go out there with a similar comfort or similar calmness, and if anything, just get light plays. You honestly, checking down, it's fine. That's a good way to just get yourself in a rhythm, get your shoulder warm, and feel good about the decisions you're going to go out there. And then you can launch one deep to Brennan Thompson, in which I expect at least 2 bombs to Brennan as well as a Deion Burks. We're going to get it, but don't force it. Go out there, play your game, play the game that you want to play. Take your time. I think they'll see success.
Yeah, there'll be time where you need to force a ball into a window. Just go get comfortable. Just go play ball. Do the thing you've been doing for a lot of years and just take it easy. This should not exert a whole lot of stress and tension. All right, Oklahoma is a 42.5-point favorite, according to FanDuel. Jay, do you have them covering the spread in this one?
So I initially had them covering the spread. Now we have this weather thing where it looks like there's a potential between 15 and 45% chance of some rain around the beginning of the game, right? It's just all over the place, right? Nobody knows what it is. So because of that, I'm going to say we do cover the spread. What am I doing, right? You think I'm going to pretend like we're... No, yes! This should be 49-0. Like, what are we talking about here, right? You know what I'm saying? It should be that simple. I think we should score at least 2 defensive touchdowns in this game.
You know, I think this is a game where if Oklahoma wanted to go run the ball 50 times and only throw it like 10 to 15 times, they could still put up 50 points and be just fine. I think they'll play with tempo, especially in the first half. I think they'll play with tempo even when Michael Hawkins gets into the game, just to let him get a feel for that tempo in game action against other competition. So I do think they'll run a lot of plays, and I think there will be a big, big day on the ground for the rushing attack. The best way to get your offensive linemen in sync and in a groove is to run the dang football. Offensive linemen love to do one thing and one thing only, and that's go forward. Will they pass block? They'll do it. They'll do it, and they might even say they love to pass block. But what offensive linemen really, really love to do, that's run block. And they want to get after guys. They want to be the initiator, not be on the defensive. And Seth Littrell knows this. Former fullback Seth Littrell knows that what he wants to do is get his offensive lineman going downhill. So we both got Oklahoma covering the spread. I think they're probably going to win something like 56-6, maybe. Ooh. If they even give up 6. It's going to be a big time blowout. Do you have a score for it?
I've got 56-0.
Okay.
I expect a goose egg in this game. If we're not goose egging them, I am very disappointed. Now, what makes me want to even stick closer to like a 49 and take the under, because I think the over under is at like 50. Was it 59 right now? I think it's around 57.5. So, yeah. So 57.5, I'm anticipating the under. So 56 is a good number there. I think that we're going to just control the clock with the run game. I mean, like you said, Littrell loves to run it. He leverages his tight ends, especially in the flats and across the middle. So you're going to get a lot more short passes in comparison to what we're used to, a lot of 10 and 15-yard throws. He'll probably spend more time, unfortunately, being like DJ Uiagalelei and throw a lot of short passes. It's most likely what's going to happen, because it doesn't make any sense to go deep all the time, right? Just run that clock, get in there, win the game, get out healthy. And I think that's the most important part. So with all the running, I'm going to say under. I'll say 56-0. We'll keep it at that.
Yeah, I think they go over, but yeah, I think just over. All right, give me the game that you're watching this weekend that's not OU Temple.
Game to watch this weekend, not OU Temple, is going to be LSU USC, right? Okay, hey, calm down, y'all. Calm down. I'm not saying anything about, USC or LSU in this game, but I think that's a game definitely to watch, because it's going to be intriguing to see what the season turns out to be for both teams, actually, right? Defensively, we've got questions about LSU. USC, we've got questions about Miller Moss taking over the new offense, because this will be Lincoln Riley's second? Well, no, actually it's his first quarterback. Actually, correction, my apologies. He didn't recruit Miller Moss. Miller Moss is already there. So he's going to be taking somebody else's quarterback again, and we're going to see if he's able to produce another big-time quarterback play out of it. So with LSU's defensive questions, I think, and USC's offensive questions, it's going to be interesting to see who actually shows out this year.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are going to be looking at Georgia Clemson, but the one that I'm most interested in the SEC is Notre Dame at Texas A&M.
There's
a lot of love for Texas A&M all of a sudden over the last few weeks to make the college football playoff, potentially be a contender in the SEC. Well, if that's going to hold up and be true, they got to beat Notre Dame at home. And if they don't beat the Irish at home, you could probably chalk up the Aggies as a pretender for 2024. But there's a lot of great games just in the SEC this week, but all over college football this weekend. You also got Penn State, West Virginia is going to be a really
the Backyard Bowl or whatever it's called. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think that's Pitt, West Virginia, but I think we get Penn State, West Virginia this year or this week. But I do think we get Pitt, West Virginia later, maybe next week or the week after. I can't remember. West Virginia's got one of those tough schedules, but they're Big 12. We don't even care about that anymore. But yeah, it's going to be a fun weekend of college football. Hope everybody enjoys it. We will be back next week to break it all down with you here on Locked On Sooners. So make sure you subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcast. We're free and available on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. So hit that subscribe button and that notification bell to let you know when new episodes drop. Follow Jay at Unfair Sports, myself at John 9 Williams. The show is at Locked On Sooners on all the social media, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, /X. Also go subscribe to the Locked On Sooners Insider Program by texting SEC 2024 to 405-817-6711, and you'll get 25% off your first month by using our promo code SEC 2024. Again, that's 405-817-6711 over at the Locked On Sooners Insider Program. But until next time, hope you all enjoy Game 1, Week 1, Friday night versus Temple. He's Jay Smith. I'm John Williams. We'll talk to you soon. Boomer.
Sooner.